Thank you very much. How awesome is Willie Geist, right? It's been really great to see his meteoric rise over the last few years, and all along the way, he and Christina have always had our back, and we thank you for that. And if you haven't seen his new Sunday morning show, definitely check it out. He tells incredible stories, and it's like having a beer with a really good friend at 8 a.m. on a Sunday. Speaking of drinking at 8 a.m. and telling stories, before we begin, to all the Marines in the room, happy 241st birthday. And to everyone here tonight, welcome to the 10th annual IAVA Heroes Gala and Veterans Week 2016. This is our most important Veterans Week ever. Our country needs us this week, now like never before. So as we gather here tonight, thousands are marching in the streets outside. America is fractured, deeply divided, like never before in our lifetime. But it's time for us to all rise to the moment. And together, we stand ready. We believe that veterans might actually be the one group that can unite all Americans. So, yeah. So welcome to IAVA's most critical campaign yet, Operation Unite America. Tonight will be about hope. We're here together to unite, to learn, and to celebrate the best of what our country is all about. And tomorrow, the unity will continue here in New York City at the largest Veterans Day parade in America, and in dozens of other cities and towns nationwide, and in the media and online, connecting and uniting millions. But like any great American startup, IAVA started small, in my tiny, very tiny, studio apartment on East 7th Street in the Village. We've grown tremendously into a national movement, thanks to so many of you in this room tonight. Many of you supported our work for over a decade. It's hard, often thankless work, and you've always had our back. You were like our angel investors. So thank you to our incredible board of directors, in particular, our tireless new chairman, Scott Feldmeyer. Yeah. And to our fantastic Chairman Emeritus, Jim Hirschman. And thank you especially to the chairman of tonight's Heroes Gala, Mr. Bruce Mosler, who's tireless and an incredible advocate. Thank you, Bruce. And to Craig Newmark, IAVA board member, title sponsor, and champion for veterans everywhere. If you would have told me, 13 years ago I'd be hanging out with Craig from Craigslist at Cipriani's, I would have told you were crazy. But he is a tremendous, tremendous advocate for all of us, and it shows how we can bring folks together around a common cause. And thank you especially to our amazing staff. They are true heroes who work every day tirelessly to make our country a better place. Please give it up for our amazing, incredible staff. So together, we're seeking to do the impossible tonight. Unite America, across party lines in the face of challenge, producing hope. And that's what IAVA is, an ass-kicking, get-shit-done, hope-producing machine. Every generation needs a fearless, truth-talking, relentless voice to carry the flag and lead the fight. IAVA is that voice for this generation. From the early days of 2004, when I first got home from Iraq, to the fight for body armor for our troops, to passing the new GI Bill, to lowering the VA backlog, to repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell, to driving accountability during and after the VA scandal that forced the secretary to resign, to putting veteran suicide on the map, to creating and passing the Clay Hunt SAVE Act, to the historic IAVA Commander-in-Chief Forum on NBC, watched by over 14 million homes. IAVA is leading the way. Many groups support veterans. IAVA reshapes the landscape and changes history. The biggest fights, the hardest fights, like successfully defending the GI Bill from $3 billion in cuts. $3 billion. A small organization of only a few dozen staff stopped $3 billion in cuts to our educational benefits. How's that for return on investment? Look, that's what the IAVA model does. Powerful advocacy, awareness, and member support programs working in concert to drive change while establishing a safety net to take care of our own along the way, leaving no man and no woman behind, and ensuring America never forgets that we're still a country at war. In the last few weeks, we lost 6 troops in Iraq, Afghanistan, Jordan, and here at home. So while America's been fighting itself for the last few years here at home, many of you in this room have been fighting our enemies overseas. But the election's finally over. Half the country is elated with the results, and half the country is in mourning. We must put America first, and we must move forward together as Americans. Donald Trump is our new president, and he's talked a lot about veterans on the campaign. For the last 2 years, IAVA pushed hard. We pushed him and Secretary Clinton to do just that, to focus on veterans, and we made them come to us. And Donald Trump made our issues a centerpiece of his campaign, and we will work harder than ever to make sure they're a centerpiece of his presidency. And that will be a win that we can all celebrate. No organization will be more important, more fair, more consistent in holding him accountable to his big promises than IAVA. Change is coming, and IAVA will hold the line in ensuring it's the right kind of nonpartisan change for our veterans. That's our job, Republican or Democrat. It doesn't matter. We'd do it if George Washington was president. And we're up for it. We do our part to lead America forward, and when we come home, we continue to lead as teachers, as entrepreneurs, as senators, mayors, governors, and as mothers and fathers. Thanks to your support, the men and women in this room are poised to lead America for decades into the future. They really are America's next greatest generation. Ever since 2004, when we first started, IAVA has made the case. We're not a charity, we're an investment. And that investment you've made is blossoming in the rising leaders all around you tonight. We adapt, we overcome, we inspire. We're Vets Rising. America has its founding fathers, and it has its guardians. The veterans in this room are the guardians of our democracy. They put the greater good ahead of themselves. They call bullshit. They put country first, always. Just like Les Gelb. Les Gelb is a great American, a truly selfless, tough, very tough, generous leader. And he's shown us all that leadership is not about fame and glory. It's about impact, and it's often about sacrifice. And Les has sacrificed big bucks, time away from his family, and an unfathomable amount of sleep. For decade after decade, he did it for America. He did it for the future. He did it for his grandchildren that are here today. And he did it for you. Les Gelb is like the IAVA spirit animal. And on a personal note, he's my most beloved mentor. Back in New Rochelle, Les was a basketball player. And he was the gritty, tough, dedicated kind of guy you'd want on your team. And his Knicks could really use him right now. And our new president could also really use him right now. Just like many presidents have before. For decades, he's been a teacher and a mentor to countless men and women who shaped our world. A generation of military, political, and diplomatic leaders have come through his living room for seminars, coaching, and the occasional overdue ass-kicking. Les pushes people to be better. He shows them the truth. He tells them the truth, and he shows them love. If candor is love, Les Gelb is like the Cupid of foreign policy. It's been one of the greatest honors of my life. For me, for my team, my wife, my young son Ryder, to spend time close to Les and Judy. Complacency is an enemy of democracy. Les Gelb has spent his life ferociously fighting that enemy like a sentinel at the gate.